Hello, my name is William Ireland. I'm the founder of Control Catering. I came about Control Catering from working 49 years. Well, I haven't been working 49 years. Our hotel has been owned by the same family for 49 years. With it, I have had to deal with a few problems. And my most recent problem was possibly the worst problem. We had bought some chicken nuggets or chicken pieces for our lobster restaurant. And on our menu, we used to print next to it all the pretty 14 legal allergens of what was in each dish. That did create a problem because in the height of the summer, we had the supply had run out of those chicken pieces. We got them exchanged for a different one, and this one had milk powder in. The child ate it and was quite ill. Mother came to us. We did explain we had made a mistake. Luckily, the child wasn't killed, which could have been happened. You know, food is very dangerous. So that made me really think, what can I do to actually protect myself from this so I don't have that same problem reoccurring, because it could easily recur in any restaurant. So that's how the whole thing formed, from having events. So we've built it for the last 5 years with our experiences and testing it throughout the Cottage Hotel. So how does it work? That's the most important thing, which we're going to try and do to you as quick as I can. So always the top right-hand corner on every page is a question mark of help. It's just a pull-down button. So when you put it down, very quickly you've got the video. If you wanted to watch the same video again, it might be longer than 15 minutes. I might have to rewrite that in. Every page has this a video link with more in-depth information. So this one's the home page. If you press the button, it will give you a more in-depth on that page. But we've done that on every page. Oh my God, there's 2 pictures of me. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. So we'll move back. So we go back. We're trying to as well build useful tips. That's just our ideas, how to use the system as best we can and how we thought about it for these last 5 years of building it. Then we go to help. That link button, which is the same link button to downloads over here. Sorry. I'll show you now the alternatives screen. This is used from the chicken nugget problem, so you can just see we thought processes out for you. So there's no written, it's all written, nothing is verbal for the staff. That's very important. That's how I've thought about it. This page just shows you quick how one recipe logs into another recipe to make seafood chowder. As you can see, build that to make one recipe, then you make it a component. You build that one, you make it a component. You can do it 3 times as a maximum. Just showing you the systems and the thought process we've gone into it. This one, recipe entry form. We understand that bosses are possibly going to choose this as their program, because the staff will go, oh, it's more work. But in the end, it makes their life easier as well, because you've given chefs procedures. You've got photographs on how a dish should go together. 20 pictures can go into each recipe. So they can't say, I haven't been told, Governor. So this is when a chef doesn't want to do it. They fill in all the form, then they sign it, say how the recipe is built, and then you can give it to another person, an admin person, to load it in. Now, some chefs might want to do it, which is great. And we're there to help. We will help as much as we can. As we're growing business, we'll help pretty much for free into the future. Down here, there's a Zoom booking button, which you can book, which I'll go into at the very end. Now, how to build a blank database. Now, this is quite important, because what you've been looking at in my database, it has got quite a lot of information in. It's because I've been using this one for the hotel. But if you look down here, when you've got a blank one, it's a lot more scary. So that's what we're trying to get you to see, why this video is useful, so you can just see how it works in a brief summary. So where were we? We're going back to the downloads. So I suggest this form you print. If you don't want to waste the paper, use an iPad. But if you print it, you can keep it next to you whilst you're building it and write notes over the form. We're going to update this and improve it. Like this might be changed for longer, depending on how long this video is. So I'm trying to make it as short as I can, because I'm sure you don't want me talking too long. So you can see we've done all lots of pretty pictures and how it works. If you go here, we're going to talk through each step, the next bit of the video. So I would suggest print this, go and make yourself a cup of coffee, and go and find yourself your invoices and your stock. So press stop now, and you'll think, thankfully, I've got to have a rest from William. So now you've got your coffee in hand, you've got your invoices, and you've printed off the blank database 10-page sheet. Good idea to have a pen next to you as well. So we're going to go through each stage very quickly, not spend a long time on it. So stage 1 on the sheet, administration. Now you would go here to sub-users, but I'm not going to press it on my full database because obviously data protection, I have got staff on mine already. So we're going to go to the blank database, as you can see, sub-users. And this is where you add a new sub-user. You can see you can have it in admin or editor. So the difference between them when you put them in, and the viewer will be kind of waiting staff and chefs that don't need to enter anything, but you could have a commis chef helping you enter it, and then the admin. You can have different admin levels. If you've entered a person in, you can delete them. So, and obviously if someone leaves, you can enable it. You can set the password up and you tell them to reset their passwords. Simple as that. So, as you can see on the sheet, that's really the stage 1, setting up different users to help you and what levels they are. You can start just completely on your own without it. So we tell you to go to menu and groups. It's very simple. You just add your own groups, put the name in of the menu. Once you've done that, so we'll go actually to a full database because it's easier. Well, you can see me, which is not as good, but I'm sorry about that. So you go in across your menu and group, and this is on your first stage of step 1. You create a new one. So we'll just put menu, I don't know, menu A. So simple as that. Save a new group so you can track it. Then we go to step 2. Step 2, menu and recipe course. Now this is obviously when you look at a menu, obviously you've got starters, main course, desserts, coffee. You could do drinks menus. In a hotel you've got many, so we just do starters, starter. You know, I do A, B because I think I did one already before, and it will tell you, I'll show you, if you go and press it, it will say acceptable, so that was okay. If you're not, it will tell you it's already there. So it does think for you, so you can try and stop you duplicating. So now we'll go to step 3, menu and layouts. So in the menu and layouts, you can see here we have an afternoon tea menu. This one is actually a good example to show you in a minute. So you go here, you can see the afternoon tea menu, you can set it. Now I can show prices or not show prices, show calories, not show calories, lifestyles. It gives you choices, so you've got changeable. And miscellaneous, you can show underneath. And this is for your printed versions. So after you've done this, you go to your external menus. Now you still have to type it in again, the same, you know, because it's showing it in a different area. That's for your printed menus we just looked at. Now this now is for your external menus. What do I mean by that? An iframe. An iframe. This is an iframe. The Cottage Hotel website. Inside our website, we've given that tiny bit of code, which will show you is the information what the guests need to see. So you can put a picture there. You don't have to put a picture there. It's your choice. But every time you pick ingredients and you've typed in, which we'll show you later in the food area, it brings all the information in for that product. So if someone's allergic to E900 and you don't know what E900 is, save you going through every label and making a mistake when they're there in the restaurant. This will give you a breakdown of every item. This shows you the alternatives, as I told you, the chicken nugget problem. You got this example is lower pack, but you're swapping it with flora. And then it will show you if you wanted the information for the calories, it will be out there for the guests to see because you've put it on the website. It depends what button you've clicked. So we'll go back. So all you have to do is press the copy to your clip file, email it to your web developer, and they can produce you the web page for the iframe. Sorry. So you can also change the sizes, the borders. It's quite complicated. It takes you a while to fiddle around, but it gives you that choice. You can print a menu. So if it's a special menu, you can just actually put it in here, print it direct. And then, you know, you wouldn't want to possibly do it on an afternoon tea menu, but if it was only a few items, say daily, that just saves you another problem, you know, another typing up, another job if it's directly to a printer. And you can view what it will be like in the sample. So you go down, this is how it works. You press the chicken sandwich and then it comes up. Okay, so that is going through really the whole of the step 1 2, and 3. Now and really 3B. Back to your blank database sheet. It then tells us to go food and food lists. So we've set up the base of the menu, and you do that for a reason for later on. When you go to your recipe build, it saves you time going back into the pages. So food. Remember, again, every page has got its own training manual. So if you're confused, you can go and look in more in depth. You go and press that one, and it will give you a new video and your tips as it goes. So main bit about this, you've got add new foods and import new food. Add new foods is used for you can't find it on Iridus. So you probably might as well use the computer to do the work. So you go to imports, you would have your invoices at the ready. I'm not sure you can see that on the computer. So you get your invoices. So you've got your current prices. You can also have a stock list. You can tick which ones you've done so you know where you are. So now you're trying to input all that food in one go. If you miss one, it's not a problem. You go back later and add it. So we go to Iridus. We'll just type in, let's type in tomato. Doing that, you get 790. You don't have to write the full word. And then you can go through them like this. So we'll just pick one. Hellman's tomato ketchup. So again, all the suppliers on this side, it's the first supplier to enter that goods will have their name there. That's what happens with Iridus. It doesn't select just because you're a supplier. You have to go and look for the product name, and also be short with your descriptions because it depends how the supplier wrote the names on. That is a bit confusing to find it. You'll get used to it. But you can see here it gives you all the ingredients in. It gives you the calories, and it will tell you if there's any allergens. And then you can this one has already been imported. So as an example, so a bad example, let's go quickly and pick another one. I'm sure that I haven't had this one. So you can see again, all the items across, calories, and then it's got the allergens, import it. And this is quite an important bit. Saves you time. This is what the guests will read. So they don't want to see it's frozen. And possibly, if you bought it in, then fine, you're proud of that name. That's a good name if you know it is. And then you put liquid, and then you can go directly to either putting the food in with the price, or you can bypass it. So you can put the price in, say it's half a litre, and then it's just £2.50. I don't know what it is. This is quite important here when you put a supplier in. You type your first time you do it, it's actually making them a supplier for you. But once you've done it, you try and pick the same one. So let's just say we're picking bid food, create the cost. Then this is a great tool. You go back in again and you just say it's from a different supplier, but you got this one for £2.20, but you didn't get it through bid food. You got it through another supplier. Let's just say we can see here. Let's type a bit more. MJ Baker. Create the food cost. You go to your history, you can see the different suppliers for the same price. You go and search for this. It's a great tool for really keeping an eye on suppliers. Now, if you're a small caterer, you might not have time to input all this ongoing, so you can do it when your prices are going up, so you can just check it. And if you have, you're sat waiting for customers, you can have a little laptop up behind the bar and just put your invoices in whilst instead of you just watching your iPhone, you can actually do, watching, going to Facebook or something else, you could just put this in. You do that first, so you're improving your business for giving control. So, all right, let's keep moving. So we've done how to do the food list, the food costs. So we go back. So import. So we've understood Iridus. Now the government database, it is not very good. So we've got it from the government. We've made it into an API. We've made it into a digital format from a PDF. Now we are trying to get the government to change the law. We've got a petition on change.org, but you can see you can't use baked beans because the government have got it on their database. It just shouldn't be there. Okay, it's exactly the same principle. I didn't show you this. You can actually just go into a product. You can go into the food and change them. So it also doesn't give you the allergens on the government website. So if it is celery, you have to pick celery. Okay, so that's foods. New foods. Exactly the same thing, just putting test. I don't know, we'll just do test A, or let's do test C. You have to pick its volume or weight. And more details, remember, all up on this page. So I'm not showing you the detail. You go across, and then it forces you to put the allergens in, clicking the buttons. So once you save that, I won't save it because it will take too long. So that's how you put your foods in. Try and put all your foods in from your invoices or from your sheets. You can tick them all off, because when you go to build your recipes, it's so much easier. You can even put tap water in there for free. It's a good idea, so that the staff know put how much tap water in to a recipe. I know it doesn't cost anything. Or your free herbs from the garden, supplier, your home garden. So now we've done that. We've done step 4. We've done 4B. We've done 4C. Now we're moving on to stage 3 of the blank database form, which I've got in front of me because I'm checking. I've printed it off. So what do we need? It's step 5, all recipes list. So we go in there, press it. Now, yours will be blank, remember? So I've already built them, so we won't go in how to build a blank database. This sheet is really useful as well. You can see, let's say we go into one viewing, and then we'll go back out again, and then we go to, let's just find scones. I like scones. As you can tell, I'm quite a big bloke. So scones and me are good friends. So we go into scones, and you can see there's our scones. But I want to go out again, and you're going back to show all. This is a great button at the top. You just press last recipe, and it brings it back to you. So it's very useful. We're trying to make user-friendly items inside the system. So let's go and search. You've got a search engine up the top, chicken sandwich. It's on our marketing leaflets, so you can view. Again, we've got a big page with the videos on how it works. You'd go and put the name in. We've used the exact name on our menu. You would do exactly the same. So if you didn't have home cooked, you don't have to put home cooked. You can just put chicken sandwich. Depends how complicated you want to make it. VAT, if they changed it, you can update your VAT. Obviously, it doesn't take 2 minutes if you had to cook the chicken, do everything else. But remember, this is a recipe of just making the sandwich. Like the end where it showed you with the soup, it's just putting the soup together, but you've got all the other recipes. The staff can go and check how to make those recipes through. So you got here the volume. They've decided to do this individually. Sometimes if you did it weight, you just add up all the recipe grams and milliliters and make the total in here. Depends how you've done it. And then you can divide it. If it's like 10 cakes, it makes 10 cakes your batch. And, and it's 10 portions. So you've got 100, it makes 100 altogether. So it depends how you can vary it, how it goes together. We'll quickly go through here. Selling price. This will go on your menu, on your alternative link menus, like I showed you up here, if you put the price in. The cost, again, isn't the back of an envelope. This cost is done exactly from all the food items you've inputted. Now, if you've not kept it up to date, obviously it won't keep the price up to date. So you can go and do that over here later by just inputting the prices. And it gives the boss exact feeling of how much everything is costing. Lifestyles, just simple. You go into this, add or remove. It's very simple just to, put something in. So like tomato gives you tomato. Obviously, this is live, this recipe. So I'll just show you. It goes into the soup. You can remove it here, or you can go to edit settings. How does this work? So optional. This is quite a powerful tool. As we said, it took 5 years to build Control Catering. We've learnt different aspects as we've been working on it and running the hotel. So you can be optional. So you can sprinkle something on the top of a soup. That's what's optional. And it shows it to the guest in there what's optional and what's not, like put butter on or not put butter on the sandwich. And alternatives, like we've done here with the bread, so you haven't got to copy all the recipes across the brown bread, white bread, gluten-free bread. You've got one sandwich with varying different choices. That's how that is done. You can put notes. This is, again, another really useful tool. So that was an onion, so 2 onions, say it was 100 grams or 50 grams, let's just say the medium-sized onion or something. Not dead right that, I'm just using my head, I'm not a chef. So let's just say that's 2 onions. Okay, so then when you go to there, it would show up on the, remember we go back and delete this, it's important, but if we go into the print recipe, the commie chef goes in and it's got in here, where I put it, 2 onions. As you can see, we're going to go and delete this because that's not correct. So we're going to go back into our edit and we'll remove. So that is now removed. So going to components, we've roughly been explaining it, but every item that you make, a recipe, you can make into a component if you're going to use it somewhere else. And remember, if you've made it as a recipe and you can't find it in the components, you might have to go to the recipe to make it into a component. So if you go and search, so let's just say you wanted to put an artichoke salad into the sandwich, which you could easily do, go into the component. It's not required. You could say it's optional, and you could say it's not a full portion. If you've designed a portion is for going on a salad, but you only need half a portion. So it goes across. And obviously that isn't correct, so we're going to remove it. So when that's done, that shows you components. Change status, well, that actually is just a system. So if other people are working on it, or you, so you can remember where you are. Now, if you have got a chef working on it, I doubt anyone else will care. They might want to keep their recipe private so no one can see it, so they can work on it and no one can go in and look at their recipes until they say, yeah, I'm happy with that. Locking it down, if you lock it, when you go into it, change status, it means you lock the system down so it doesn't, so people can't, the status changes down here. Edit procedures, this is you tying it up. We try to do it to tie it up to our photographs in our mini pics. Course of notes, as I showed you where this will go across into the guest. All these areas here are shown in here. So you've got your notes, you've got your cross-contamination, and then you've got your other notes. So the guests can see everything that you've written. So it gives you your due diligence on how you've organized your cross-contamination so they can, work it out. We give you ideas here on words, but we don't give you how to do it, because obviously there's a lot of legal implications here. So going back, clipping notes, this is done especially for me because I'm dyslexic and my spelling is appalling. So you can set up your clipping notes. It's in, where's clipping notes? Miscellaneous, and you add your clipping notes there. Once you've added them, I've done a test one. You can just push it in here and you can still add and change items to it. So that is the notes, goes to the guests. Link alternatives, again, if you've got a product here, you add it across like your butter and you tell them which one it's linked to for your alternative ingredients. Easy to upload a picture. You could just go to your computer and do it. And mini pics. This is for you're a chef that gets annoyed telling the staff how to lay it out, what to do. Chicken sandwich possibly isn't the best example, but that was my example showing someone else before. Just delete it. It's very simple to do. It asks you many times, where do you want to go? So if you want to add a picture from library, there's my shot I just did because it's the closest one. You can just go through next images. You can search for them. So I don't know. You can write chicken or whole chicken, which we most probably haven't got. So we'll see if it's in our library. No. Let's try onion. See if it's in the library because I'm adding pictures all the time. Yeah, some onions, onion bhajis. So you can just include that image and in it goes. And you can sort the orders. Great training that is. You can print it. So we've still got the onion bhaji in there. So you go in here and you can see it's still there, but you can't delete it from this area. You can go and print the page. So then it's got it for the staff training coming up in a file, or you can look at it online without printing it if they've got an iPad in the kitchen or just a tablet. So that's the recipe. So we're really gone through how the recipe build. I've done step 5 all the way through from right across. Labels, we're going to get to step 6. So really I've skipped lots of steps. I haven't, I've gone through them. But how labels work. So step 6, go to labels. This is good for manufacturers or takeaways which are pre-prepped. The law will change possibly one day, so it's a good idea you've got this, it's already there. So you can upload the pictures from the recipes. You can go down, I think the miscellaneous, where is it? And this is where you would import your labels, what sizes, or you can make your own in here. Once you've done that, you pick it here. You set it as a preference. When you're happy and you say, oh, that looks good, it's happy, fits on the label, or if it doesn't, you can change the size. The legal size is smaller. Depends what you want. Do you want the guest to be able to read it, or is it a magnifying glass? So your choice. You've got lots and lots, and you can put notes. You can put your calories in here. You don't have to put your calories. You've got good choice and good making that. And obviously easy to go and print. Get it designed for your label printers. Press print, and obviously that will be lined up for your stickers. And that's all for a manufacturer, is all for £300. It's a great little tool. And now you've got a training on how to do the other parts. And you can use all the other ingredients for the £300. I've tried to do it to help small companies. Right, so we've done labels, showed you clippings earlier on step 7. Constructing a component is just so simple. You can't unmake a component, but it shows you where it is. You have to take it out of that recipe to unmake it as a component, but it's just touching that button. Writing procedures, we've gone through that on step 9. Mini picks, we've gone through that as well. So we've gone to step 10. We've done that. Really, we're kind of getting to the point now that you've built your main bit of the recipe, and we are quite happy. You can go and search recipes, work that we've done, and how it joins together. So let's have a look at chocolate brownie. So chocolate brownie. Now you see chocolate brownie, you've got a chocolate brownie dessert. That's the finishing off one, but the chocolate brownie, how it's made. So you can just look here. So this is the chocolate brownie, but then you've got to make it into a component, all those ingredients, because you can see it's in a component. You can go and see where it's made into the chocolate desserts and also afternoon tea menu. So you go back to your chocolate brownie dessert, and then you can see it's on the plate garnished, but then you've put all the kool-aids and the garnish you've done on top. So you've charged, on top, they've got all those ingredients added. So that is really recipes. I think I've gone through, you do more of this through your training, and you upload your pictures here. So you can have it in a library. You can download it from what we've added in. We've done this section. Internal comm is really a system I've built in. The IT team has said if it grows really big, that they might cut that out. So obviously don't be too upset if we did. Miscellaneous items, so measuring items, so you can measure if you've got a special spoon and it's 58 mil, so you can put 58 mil on it as a measuring unit. Information sources, that's the front page, your home page when you come in. User details, you can search. I can't press these because obviously user summaries, your accounts. I can't have anyone looking at mine. Passwords as well, account summary. So you can change all this. You've got pages. Obviously, I can't go into this page, but you can see change your taxes. You can check all your actions. I will take a risk because I think that this one is fine. It just shows William what he's done. So you can audit who's been where, when. So if there is a problem, even if it's just a problem, you can actually see and to train people what they've done on the system. Help problems. We're trying to get you to improve the system. Terms and conditions, ours, and this is the text. You can change this text. It's for, you've got the staff to read it before they go. And they've clicked it to say they understand. They are responsible for telling the guests the right information. Back through here, this button I did mention at the beginning. This is a very useful button, but what we're trying to make you do is actually use the system first before you go to us and asking for help. Get stuck, have a few questions, have your list printed off. Then we'll help you as much as you can. If you need more than one help session, we will try and help you again and again until you've got it right. So much easier now. We've got Zoom and we can do it automatically, booking an appointment. So, you just book one of these, say what time it is, and then you just write in here, or I'll move myself again, your company name, what it is, so we know your account, what your problem is, so we can think about it. So I think it forces you to write something here. So let me just put test, and then I'll put a fake email address in here, test@test.com. Good idea to put your phone number, company name, test, and the message, label or labels need some help. You can tell I'm dyslexic because I spelled it wrong. Confirm appointment. Oh, what do we need support about? So labels. Confirm appointment. What's it not liking? Oh, telephone number. No, I'm just making one up, so hopefully it will know it's right. Confirm the appointment. And then you'll get an email sent to you. Thank you, and booking your appointment. Obviously, if you can't make it, let us know. And we are there to try and help you, because the more we grow this, the more we can improve it and get the system for all caterers. So I'm wanting to use it for small caterers, cafes, pubs, restaurants, small hotel groups. I'm not even looking for big groups. If someone comes, I'll say, yes, please, let's look at the system. But I know there's bigger systems out there with a lot more capital than we've got to be able to produce it. But we've done this, it's working, and we're looking for support and help as well along the way to get it the best system we can for all caterers. Thank you very much, and I really hope that you enjoy using it. I've tried to make it as interesting as I can, the training manual. It is a boring subject, but you can still do it with some excitement. That's the important bit. Thank you very much, and I hope we can help you.